The Japanese necktie. Super cool move, one of my favorite. I feel that after 15 years of teaching this and knowing this, this is what took me around the world. The Darce chokes and the Japanese necktie when Fade to Black first came out, my first DVDs in 08, and then later on number 2 in 2018-19. If people outside of my network were to think of us, that we're gonna think a lot about the truck and they're gonna think a lot about the chokes, because I flew around a lot, many different countries to teach seminars based on this. In my time teaching it and doing it, I've honed in what works and doesn't work and more of a clear understanding of it. Another cool fun fact about the Japanese neckties, I named it after seeing Shinya Aoki do it, who's a famous Japanese MMA fighter, and now it's a natural move on the UFC video game named that, so it's kind of cool. I didn't invent the move. It's from, necktie is also like from the Peruvian necktie, where Tony D'Souza is from Peru. Shinya Aoki's from Japan, and it looks similar to what I was seeing from Tony D'Souza do, and so that's why I named it the Japanese necktie after Shinya Aoki. But it's really good for short arm people. Can't quite get the Darce and stuff, and you can just get the gable grip, okay? Sometimes even the S grip. So I just need to explain some basic things about turking, which is a wrestling term, but please go on your back, Brock. When I first learned this, I learned it from turtle and from half guard. I'm gonna explain a couple differences here, because in half guard, I have his bottom leg caught with my leg. This makes it more difficult for Brock to stand and base on this leg or come out to turtle. There you go, to bring that leg out. You see what I'm saying? Because I have him in half guard. When I attack the position from turtle, I end up controlling, usually spin that way a little bit. I end up controlling usually the outside leg, or trying to control both. So if he drops on his side, again, like half guard, I don't have the same control as I do when I hold the bottom leg. So in my opinion, the Japanese necktie from the half guard and from turtle can be slightly different in terms of the fight that you're gonna encounter, because you have a different leg in your control, right? And anytime someone can't turn in, like Brock can't turn away because I have his arm, he can't turn in. I've got that term from wrestling. I'm not a wrestler, but they call it turking. Some of you guys wrestle, that basic whole thing, okay? So anyways, he has an underhook, and I'm able to get a whizzer and just get my hands connected. I have my hands connected here, still have to follow the same principles of the 3/4 Nelson and trying to choke with the Darce, and that's keeping my elbows tight. If you can't quite reach, you can still do this with an S grip, with the modified S grip. It's like one up and one sideways, or the full gable grip, okay? Some people do feel comfortable with their thumbs and fingers. There's different, I don't know, different hands out there, right? So do what the heck makes you feel comfortable here, but your elbows gotta be in, all right? So what I need to do here is get up on my free foot, and my opponent's head needs to disappear underneath my belt. I'll catch it high in the chest sometimes, but it's gonna be best if I walk around like this and drop with his head between my legs, and then I'll bring my right leg to my other one, so I have this position, and now I can flex into him. Okay, sometimes his head doesn't get caught, it's out, but he can't pull it out to the side, which is because the mat is there. So I still have the bend in his head when I have his legs, okay? Almost like a gator choke, where you wanna bend someone's head as you're walking towards them. He can't get his head out to the escape side because it's on the mat. I get my 3/4 Nelson, I'm here. I step and walk around. I want to keep his leg in control. I'm okay with turning my leg in like this. Okay, instead of trying to be here or cut your knee through, I'm actually gonna keep it, walk over his head, hit my shoulder on the mat, and then try and cross my ankles, right? And then I can hip in, and put my hands kind of change, where my hands were right in front of my hip, and I can just a little arm, just a little hip. He's so tight in there, it's nasty, all right? So he can't get out of that because I have his bottom leg. If Brock goes to turtle, and I'm fighting the 3/4 Nelson, let's turn a little bit. I'm fighting him with the 3/4 Nelson here, and I decide to switch the game and hook his leg. This is still legit, but what I'm gonna try and do is push forward on my toes, but also suck him in. So I'll do them independently. I'm gonna suck him in, so I wanna do that, right? And I also wanna push forward and push him over. So I'm kind of doing both of those movements, okay? As I pull him into it. So I have the 3/4 Nelson, I come here, and I hook his leg. Let me hook his leg. I'll turn, hook his leg, and then I'm gonna drive him over and then try and connect my legs. Okay, now sometimes his head could be out, and you'll still get the tap.
right? But can you get on your knees, Brock? Yeah, keep getting up, buddy. He can get up, but his head is still stuck on the floor. So he'll get caught like this. But if he uses his free leg to kick free out of this one, like now he has more of a fight. So you have smaller guys that will definitely, shorter guys will try and kick free out of that and spread their elbows and get out. There's a gator choke battle that can ensue, but that's the difference between having the bottom leg and the top leg in the Japanese necktie.